All right, everybody, here we are with Tony. Tony, introduce yourself and briefly tell us your story.
All right, Paul. My name's Tony Zamani, and my story is I struggled with obesity for most of my life. Well, I still fight with it now, but it's a process that I enjoyed the challenge and I enjoy taking it on. Basically, I was a touring musician and I toured the world for about 36 years. And of course, when you're a touring musician, you're at the mercy of whatever food is being brought to you at the time. And I'll tell you this, that in rock and roll and in blues and jazz and all that, green rooms are never really green. That's the first thing. They're usually loaded with salami and Wonder Bread and just everything you possibly could imagine that we don't really want to eat. And not only that, the other thing was touring. I always was into like trying the ethnic foods, and it just never ended. And the other thing, when I was young, I was raised in an Italian family, and we were raised up on pasta and breads and sauces with all kind of sausages and meatballs and all kinds of things like that, and salads were small, and antipastos and that kind of stuff. And so nutrition really wasn't taught. We ate in the tradition of the Italian way that my mother was raised, and portions weren't really explained either. It was like a feast, and we all just went for it, and I went for it. So my thing is, like, if you eat for two people, you're gonna look like two people, and I certainly did. So anyway, when I came off the road, I realized I had to make changes, and I needed to really figure this out. And so I moved to South Florida, hoping to regain my health. And when I got here, I knew about Hippocrates because I used to live in Boston, and I knew about Hippocrates way back then. So I was thinking the best thing I can do is get involved with Hippocrates. So I ended up working in the kitchen, and I worked there for about over 7 years. I started out full-time, and then I went to part-time. And I was hoping that would do it, but it did and it didn't. I never really caught on that well because I did the Hippocrates by day, but I still ate like a nut at night. So I was still out of control. And I didn't understand the whole how to do it. But when I became 58 years old, I realized that I did not want to go into my 60s carrying this kind of weight, and I just made a conscious lifetime change. I made a decision to take the weight off, and I started by walking a 1 mile. It was very, very difficult, but I did it every day, 5 or 6 days a week, I would say. And I changed my diet completely. I got into the Hippocrates program. I got into eating vegan, and it was a slow process. I didn't go cold turkey right away. I still ate some like hard-boiled egg stuff, stuff that people believe that are good for weight loss and muscle building and exercise. I went through that. I went through the whey protein powder, and I slowly got on the ball to the point now where I know what time it is. Let me say it like that. So anyway, Paul, it's been a great experience. I met Paul through Hippocrates, and he's an amazing man, and I respect him and love him very much. And I'm happy to be here to, where do you want to go from here, Paul?
Tell us, what was the most you've ever weighed, and then where are you at now?
Well, the most I ever weighed was 350, right around there. And I went from 350 to 275 many times. And one time I even went to like 216. I joined Weight Watchers. And I'm not saying anything bad about anything that I've tried. I did a few things. But what it is anything we do to lose weight has to be sustainable. That's the problem. If you lose weight eating grapefruits and cucumbers for a year, running a marathon, the moment you add an apple to your diet and you start sitting around, you're going to gain the weight back. So I had to find a way that I could do the rest of my life. So at this point, I'm weighing 205. I was down to 189. I have put on a few pounds since I was down to 189, and mainly it's because my exercising regiment has not been as dramatic as it was. I was running up to 2-3 miles a day, and this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. Because I stopped running 2-3 miles a day, my metabolism changed again. So I have to, if I want to stay under 200 pounds, I have to get more vigorous. I have to find a way to be more vigorous at running and doing cardio at least 5 days a week that's consistent. And I'm not afraid of it. I know I can do it, and I will do it.
Now, when you were a musician putting on the weight, did everyone else, were they obese as well, or?
When I was traveling, there were some people who were gaining a lot of weight, and there was a few people that were able to maintain. But of course, you know, in the music business, I mean, you got people doing drugs, you got people hooked on coffee, everybody has their own little thing to stay thin. And some people just get trapped like I do, like eating candy and cookies and pizza and subs and anything. Because when you get on a tour bus and you have to go from New York to Chicago in a 2-day span, you're only eating what everybody else eats, because you have a refrigerator, a small refrigerator. You might have 9 people on a bus, and there's no room for produce and stuff like that. I did try a couple of times, but I was not able to maintain. And of course, you're going to get ribbed every time you try to go healthy. You know, I remember one famous guy told me, you know, rabbits don't live long. And so, and of course, he was the owner of the show, so it wasn't like I could make changes. I tried to bring wheatgrass in. I tried to bring hummus in. I was carrying wheatgrass juices with me on the road. I was carrying Vitamix blenders. I would get to a place and I would have to go out. As soon as I got into my hotel room, I would run around looking for a Whole Foods or something, and I would bring home all this stuff and I would put it into the hotel room, juice everything, break it down, and run to a sound check. It wasn't real. I tried it, but it wasn't reality. I just couldn't do it. So I had to come off the road. But as far as, like, I work with B.B. King. I know he was like, I have a picture with me and B.B. I think together we were probably almost 700 pounds. I always joke about it, saying good thing we weren't going into an elevator at the same time. But no, but then I worked with Buddy Guy, and he held his weight down. I mean, you know, he had his ways to hold his weight down. I mean, but he did. So I can't blame the road, because nobody put the food in my mouth but me. So, you know, we have choices, we make decisions, and unfortunately, I didn't make the best ones at that time. Also, exercising was almost impossible, because all that traveling, by the time you get to your hotel, you're exhausted. So what do? You go lay down and recuperate for a little bit, and then go run out and do what you got to do. And then what did I do? I went to work. How did I get there? Sitting. Once I got there, what I do? I sat behind a piano, or I sat behind an organ, and I sat and played. After that, what did I do? Go back to my hotel room and go to bed, because I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do what? Get on a plane and sit like this and fly around to the next place, and then eat the plane food. And anyway, anyway, thank God that I am finally free of that. And right now, we are actually doing the Hippocrates weight management program, and I'm really looking forward to that.
How was it emotionally to see other people eat like you but not put on weight like you?
Okay, Paul, how it was emotionally for me to see other people eat like me and not put on weight like me? That's a good question. The truth is, did anybody really eat like me? They might have ate like me, but the quantities were different, for sure. I mean, they might have ate like me, but they knew when to stop. I mean, I think a lot of my might have been depression or boredom or loneliness. I just ate for any possible reason. I mean, but there are some people who could eat pretty good, but evidently they didn't, from childhood, they were in pretty good shape. And they probably did a lot of exercise in high school and stuff like that. So their metabolisms were faster. So when I saw some people that would eat a lot of crap, and not gain any weight, I just realized that, you know, their metabolism burned a lot faster than mine did.
How's your friends and your family taking your vegan lifestyle? Like, do you ever see your friends that you on the road with? Do people make fun of you how you eat now or anything?
Yeah, you do have some people, you know, it's never going to end. I just deal with them with love and patience, and I just laugh. You know, I've learned to laugh at it because I feel great. So they can say whatever they want. Check out how I feel. You know, check out you. They know the old me. They remember.
How much weight did you lose?
About 150, 140.
Do people get inspired just by looking at you, or do they?
Yes, where I work, there's been two people that got inspired. They used to come in. First of all, nobody really knew I was losing weight for the first 40 or 50 pounds. I weighed so much that it just wasn't obvious. And after I took about 40, 50 pounds, a few people took notice. But when I got to about 70 pounds, a couple of really big people were coming around me going, look at you. And I said, this could be you, dude. Get on board. I'll work with you. You know, I'll get down with you. We'll go to the gym. We'll work out. We'll do stuff. And he struggled. But you know what? One day he came to me and he said, I want to hang out with you. We started going to the gym together. I started showing him some ways, and I got pictures of him too. He was probably only, I think, about 5'5", and he weighed almost 300 pounds.
Wow. So he lost a lot?
Oh yeah, he's like 180 now. He does CrossFit. He's a little animal.
Sure. And now this program that you started at Hippocrates, the weight class, tell us about that.
The program is within the program, the Life Transformation Program. And what we do now is we incorporate all of Hippocrates, the guidelines of Hippocrates, but what we do is we monitor and we teach. The things that I'm saying right now, we teach. We do one-on-one individual counseling. We design a exercise program for people that wherever they're at, we meet them where they're at, and we take it from there, and we get them to believe and achieve. And we show them all the options. Of course, when they get home, we teach them how to take it home. We teach them how to live safe with a program that's permanent to last a lifetime. How people will benefit from my lecture who do not need to lose weight is to learn how to help the ones they love to learn how to lose weight, because this is what this program is designed to do. This presentation is designed for people who need to lose weight, who need to get motivated to lose weight, and for people who have loved ones that they want to help. It's a very, very tricky thing. Obesity is not a disease, because anybody can change when they get ready. And it's not a contest, like a lot of people might want to turn it into. It's a very serious psychological health issue. And I address that fully, and I totally teach how to help someone that you love.